What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. Well, we're not here for the cars today. Let me show you what I got going on. So I don't think I took any video of the front room in my garage or what my plans are. Sorry about the light. It's a pretty good deal. So about a month ago, put in a brand new panel, got rid of the screw and fuses that I had, rewired my big air compressor. It's a 7.5 horse on an 80-gallon tank. The biggest reason I needed to rewire is to put a stove out here. Can you guys guess what the stove's for? Give you a hint. Powder coating. So I had a little bit of Harbor Freight money saved up, so I bought their cheap spray gun kit. Jumped on Amazon. I bought some high temp tape, some high temp nylon plugs. I got onto prismatic powders and I ordered 5 pounds of powder. I got a pound of black, a pound of chrome, a pound of clear metallic. I got a candy teal and a solid base teal. I did that because I'm not sure how hard a candy color is going to be, because I know you have to do a base of chrome or polished aluminum, and then you do the candy, and then you do a clear. So hopefully that'll turn out really nice. It's been a minute. I've been waiting on a new element. I just got an element. Another thing you need is an infrared heat gun. So I got my new element installed, I don't know, 20 minutes ago maybe. And then with the gun, helmet's still cooling down, but this got up to temp pretty quick, so I'm happy about that. I've been taking a bunch of parts from Diesel Kid's house. Obviously, he parts out Cummins, and I want to make my Cummins nice. So I stole a set of intercooler piping, the fan shroud brackets, tow hooks. I got a factory intake in the other room, another set of fan shroud brackets, more intercooler piping, and a pulley. These are going to be practice pieces, and what my plan is, I'm going to powder coat as much stuff as I can, and pretty much it's all going to be practice. The practice pieces that I feel are decent quality, we're going to throw them back up on Marketplace, throw them on eBay, and see if we can actually make a little bit of money off it. Because if I can powder coat parts, colors that people actually like, and make my money back, that would pay for my setup and hopefully give me room to grow. Also have my sandblaster over here. I'm gonna get my tank aired up so I can get this going. I have a factory intake that I'm gonna try first. It's just aluminum. I gotta take a couple things off, but I'm gonna go ahead, sandblast that. I got a little external regulator on here. I just have to stretch my hose across from the other side of the shop. And I'm gonna have to figure out a way to actually hook my vacuum up to this so it sucks the dirt out, or sucks the dust out. One issue I have with this blast cabinet is the fact that it's not airtight, and there's dust that comes out of absolutely everywhere. So I figured maybe if there's a vacuum on it, hopefully that won't happen, because I really don't want to get it all dusty in here. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to modify that cabinet or buy one. I'll have a little bit of money now because the charger is in the process of selling, because I'm not gonna use it. I have this as a summer car. I have that as a summer truck. I have my Cummins back, which I'm happy about that. Yeah, and I might possibly look at a motorcycle. A lot of people are bugging me that I should get one. I haven't rode in a long time. I'm starting to contemplate on getting one. But we're gonna go ahead and hopefully our cheap setup can actually do good. I'm gonna get this compressor aired up. I'm gonna go start sandblasting, and we will have an update after that. So I think my setup worked out pretty good. I ended up getting my shop vac to actually fit in there. So let me show you. So my shop vac, I'm pretty sure I have a fine dust filter in there. I guess I was running about 90 PSI in this regulator. This was able to screw in. I ended up unplugging this, well, I shut this light off and used my icon light to actually see in the cabinet. So that is all done. Pretty happy with the way that turned out, I think. There we go. Okay. So the first step is sandblasting. Pretty much after it is all sandblasted, you want to blow it off with your gun. Try not to touch any of what you're going to powder coat with your skin, because it can leave imperfections in the powder itself. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get this blown off. I only got two hands, one for the phone, one for what I'm working with. I'm going to go ahead and get this blown off, get a rack in my oven. The next step is called outgassing. Outgassing is getting the part up to a certain temperature for a certain amount of time to burn off any oils, residues, anything that could be left on the part. After outgassing, you let it cool back down to room temperature, and then you spray it with your powder. Kind of curious how that's going to turn out, because this is all new to me. I've been watching videos, tutorials, blogs, groups, everything you can think of. I've been watching for about the last month now, trying to learn and see how other people messed up. So hopefully I don't make those mistakes. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this blown off, get my rack in the oven, get the oven up to temperature, and hopefully get this outgassed and probably call it a night. We'll be back out here tomorrow after it's cooled back down, and this lighting is really crappy. But we'll be back out here tomorrow after this part's cooled down. Not sure if I should do the solid teal, or I think it's called Venice teal. That's a solid color, or if I should jump right into trying to do the candies. I should probably buy some illusions. Like after I do a couple test pieces, I'll probably buy some illusion paint, because it seems like a lot of people are going to illusion colors. Pretty much an illusion color is a solid color. It looks really crappy until you spray clear on it, and then it just pops. Diesel Kid would say orange is my favorite color. I don't know what he's talking about. But there's an illusion orange color on there that I really, really want. I just don't know what it would go on. I don't know if I would do orange on the Cummins or if I'll do teal. I already bought the teal, so I'm probably gonna do the teal, but is it because I want the teal, or is it because I don't want Diesel Kid to make fun of me for buying orange? I don't know. So we will be right back. Okay, so we got our part in the oven. I like this oven just because of the fact it's digital. So we're gonna go up to 300 is probably good. Go ahead and let that preheat. I will open this up in a second. You guys can see the element going. Okay, another thing that people don't realize is when they say get up to temperature, they don't mean when the oven is up to temperature. They mean when the part is up to temperature, which is why you need one of these. So let's see. Part is at 130-ish degrees right now. Element's at 350. So we're gonna let this get up to temperature a little more, and then we will shut it off and be ready tomorrow. So it's the next day, part is all prepped. I'm not gonna worry about getting powder in there because this is a test piece. We're gonna go with Venice Teal, I think it's called. So 10 minutes at 400 degrees, oven's heating up. Air tank's filled up because when I wired that box, there's not enough spots. So these two are both wired together. So that means that this is on, I'm not gonna run that. So full tank, regulator set a little higher than I want, I guess. Whatever, that's fine, 100 PSI. So gun is plugged in. I'm gonna go ahead. Prismatic has these cool little zip ties, so they are reusable. So I figure This kit came with 2 cans. I'm going to use one for clear and one is going to be for color. So I'm going to go ahead, fill this up. This is a pound of powder. It looks like it'll be close to fit in there. Probably don't need all of it. Probably don't even need half of it. But go ahead, throw that in there. Hopefully this heats up faster. And then we're going to see how good this actually turns out. So, not gonna lie, kind of feels like COVID again. So I got my powder in here, got my ground hooked up. My foot pedal, I'm still not sure exactly, but we will figure this out. Gun is on, foot pedal. Okay, so regulator is really low. Okay, so don't get that close. I really need to build a spray booth, but I want to test and see how this goes first. I really don't feel like it's actually getting underneath. I really wish I had a spray booth right now. So there's a little recess under here that I'm not getting any powder to stick to, and I have a lot of powder on the floor. I was really hoping that this gun would be a lot more efficient. It kind of feels like I'm just wasting powder at this point because it's $20 a pound for powder, and the fact that I've probably used up a quarter pound on one little tiny part seems very inefficient. And it's kind of annoying because it's just literally one little spot. If you ask me, that's a really good cloud of powder, and I feel like it should be sucking a lot more to it. I know people talk about running a dedicated earth ground. I literally have a 10-foot grounding rod outside. I just have to come through the wall and connect it to wherever my paint booth is going to be, which is probably right up against the wall or something. I don't know, but I know I definitely need a paint booth because a lot of powder that I don't want everywhere. I don't want people breathing in. Frustrating. I don't know if that's something maybe I should get the part hot and then bring it back out and hit it again. I think that's what I might try to do. I might try to let it flow out, as they call it. So I'm gonna go ahead, put this stuff out of my way. Shut the gun off. Okay, so my gloves are actually at Diesel Kid's house, so not able to, I gotta use my TIG gloves instead of my MIG gloves. MIG gloves would be a lot better because that burnt. God damn. So I know it's probably going to be a while before that part actually gets up to temperature. I know it took a while yesterday. So we're gonna cut right now and we will be back. Okay, so I might have figured out the problem. So I ended up getting into my fuse panel. Let me show you what I did. So I took my meter, this is the plug I'm using, and I touched that grounding probe to my grounding strip, and it was not attached. So I pulled this out, and sure enough, there was no ground on it. So what I did was, on this box, your grounds and your commons are on the same strip. That is very common on a lot of them. So what I did was I just jumped the side post to the ground. Normally your bigger one on the left is your hot wire, and then your small one is your white or common. So I just plugged it back in, and it seemed like, I don't know, we had a lot better coverage. Me being a dumbass, I was trying to move it around so I could look at it, and I dropped it on the ground, so there's an imperfection right there. And then the other one's covered up, but the powder is sticking way better. So sorry about talking shit. I mean, it's still a cheap gun, so you can't really expect a lot. But I'm gonna go ahead, load this back in the oven, and see what it looks like. Well, let's see how our part's doing. Finally hit 400, so got a couple more minutes and we can shut this off and let it cool down and bring it out in the light, see how it looks. So our part is finally done. I ended up hitting it with one more top coat because there was a couple light spots. Not necessarily light, but when the part was hanging up here on the rack, everything on top, because I didn't have a ground, that powder was just laying there. Everything else just had a light coating on it. So by standing it up, this is actually the hole for the oil dipstick. So this is the front that you will see. So this is a way better coating than what was on there. I'm not sure, I don't know, I still want to play with the powder, but that's just a solid tone color, so it doesn't need a top coat. But I do have a metallic clear. I just don't know if I want to use it on the very first part I powder coat, or if I want to get some of these done and try on one of those. But I do like the color. I'm pretty sure it's got to be so close to the color of Phoenix, but it does lighten up, obviously, from the color of the powder to the finished product. So this was a learning experience for me. There are stuff I want to do. I know there are modifications you can do to the Harbor Freight gun to get it to feed better, not spit out as much powder. Obviously, I need to build a spray booth. I already have plans in my head. I think I want to do like a 4x4x6, 1 or 2 box fans with furnace filters, and then obviously you're gonna need lights. I don't know if I would just do a single light, maybe steal that bad boy up there, and I don't know. I want the inside to be white though. I don't know if I'm gonna paint it white or if I'm gonna get like the linoleum or whatever on a shower surround. I don't know what would be better. I'm gonna look into that, but I say our first experimental piece is a success. I wish I didn't go through as much powder as I did, but like I said, I knew this was gonna be a test piece. I'm happy with the way it turned out. So if you guys wanna follow along on this journey, I'm gonna start doing a lot more parts after I get the process down. So like, comment, share, subscribe. See you on the next one.